Baby, I tried to let that go on and everything. So we just gonna go ahead and live because we live now and they've been
Well,
waiting.
hello.
Tell everybody to say hey. I can't really
Hi.
see this is new to me, you guys. So I haven't been able to work the talk stream. So Auntie Fiji is breaking me in, y'all. So bear with me, so because I cannot see I can't see any comments at all. So
Thank
oh
you.
wait a minute. Hold on. I do see chat. Okay, yeah, okay, okay. Well, I do see the chat, y'all. Never mind. So hello, my good people. In case y'all didn't know what this is or who this is the Ham Life podcast show. And I am your cousin, your favorite cousin, your favorite questionable cousin. And today we have a special guest. We have Auntie Fiji. All right. So I know Auntie Fiji sent me a bio, and we're gonna read it right before we get into your segment. But the first segment, we just gonna let you talk and see how you feel about these certain topics. All right, you okay with that?
Let's go.
Okay. So the first portion is Ham Life Story of the Week. So in this portion, just talking about what's going on late in the news, whether it be, you know, it got something to do with us basically. So and
Right.
we just gonna need your opinion. And just be honest. I don't care if it's a hot ass mess or what. You gonna let us know if this story is a hot ass mess. All right. So Will and Jada, yeah, Will and Jada are trending this week again. If you aren't aware, their business been all through the streets, dragged and drugged. All right. So this comes after the release of Jada Pickett Smith's book Worthy. In this tell memoir, she discussed relationships with Tupac. She discussed her marriage, and she even discussed what's possibly behind the Oscar slap with Chris Rock, because he was sliding her DMs while she was still married because he was trying to get with her. But anyway, that's a different story.
Oh.
Yes, that's the reason why Will Smith went up and smack dude because um he found out they was Will and Jada was supposed to been getting divorced. He that Chris Rock heard whatever, but so he thought that was his opportunity to go ahead and slide on in and say, "Hey, what's up? Like, how you doing, Jada? Can I take you out?" And she said, "No, I'm still married." But anyway, um, well, my cousin, Will Smith, finally had something to say. He stated this past week during his wife's book promotion in her hometown of Baltimore this past Wednesday. He pledged his lifelong support for her. He said, "Jada is the best friend I have ever had on this planet, and I'm going to show up for her and support her for the rest of life." And he told the crowd at the Enoch Pratt Free Library, where Jada was doing her promotion for her book. Then she stated and said, "Will and I are good, baby." She didn't say the baby part. I had to put my own spell on it. But all the people that don't understand and have something to say are just going to have to fall in line. The truth of the matter is, I'm not leaving Will's side, and he's not going to leave mine. And we've been on a powerful quest, and I'm happier than I ever been. She added. And what y'all feeling? What you feeling? Do you feel this is a hot ass mess, or you feel like okay, they rocking like, dude, that's each other ride. They're riders. Or you just tired of hearing about Will and Jada?
I don't really care to hear for the theatrics of these people who I'm never going to mean I don't care for.
Uh huh.
They've been on again and off again, behind closed doors since the ages.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck cares? That's how
That's
I
right.
feel. And honestly, truthfully, Jada been said and stated how she gonna do what she want to do. And
Mm-hmm.
by this point, Will, you're supposed to be the Fresh Prince, baby, of Bel Air. You
That
you
part.
outside right now, and
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with loving someone to that extent, but you
Mhm.
have to know when it's time for you to pull back. And I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Yes. Okay. I feel that, and I agree. Like I'm really tired of the back and forth between them, but at the end of the day, that's their business. People leave them alone. That's their marriage. However they want to
Yeah, I
see.
don't really care for it. And then it's not even the girls of the girls. These are fucking roaches on fucking Twitter. I don't care. I don't care that much. I don't even follow like none like Shade Room and everybody. I don't follow none of those sources, so I really don't know anything.
Yes. So okay. So the next story is this is crazy. This is from right here in Georgia. So the search for a missing jet skier is on the way in Gwinnett County, Georgia. The incident happened on Saturday, October 22nd, 2023, when a jet skier who has been identified as Walter Guandado decided to jump off their jet ski and into Lake Lanier and attempted to swim to shore. There have been a total of 8 drownings at Lake Lanier this year alone. Some say this lake is haunted. Some say it's something living in the waters. What you think about Lake Lanier?
It's funny that you say this. I've done an entire TT series on Lake Lanier. I'm not even from here, and
Oh,
so when I moved here, I did end up going to Lake Lanier. And as a psychic and a medium, I have had my fair share experiences. And even in my TT theory, which you can find on my YouTube at Wet Water Fiji on Lake Lanier
mm,
TT theory, baby,
oh,
I want y'all stay out that water. I got thrown in the water by my friends who I went there with, and this is before me knowing the story of Lake Lanier. I told them I didn't want to get in the water. They threw me in that water,
oh,
and I felt literally just like arms just pulling me down, like trying to pull me under the water. And I said, "Oh no, ma'am, I gotta go." I
oh,
have
baby.
seen a couple of different spirits there as well, and even when I did my TT's theory on it, um, surprisingly, the girl, Anna Maycrow, the
Mm-hmm.
woman who caused the massacre of Oscarville, Georgia, I saw her in spirit. And when I like stood up to like crack my window so that way she can get out of my room, I looked outside my window and I saw like an angry mob of like white people just standing outside my window with like torches. And it's all on the TT's theory. You can watch it. Like I said, Wet Water Fiji, Lake Lanier TT's theory. But stay out that water. Y'all shouldn't have did that.
Yeah. That I think I don't think people learn their lesson. Everybody want to test that water gangster. So they want to
Mm-mm,
test that spirits gangster, think you won't snatch them under. I ain't going to no
mm-mm.
Lake Lanier. You got me messed up. I look too good to be
No
trying to
shit, that
dive.
was a one time thing for me. I can't do it again. They
Yeah.
might not be so lenient to let me go this time. Because I
See,
tapped them spirits on that shoulder and that water. I said, baby, now you turn her loose. And I walked up out of there. I had to go.
so did the friends that threw you in there, did you cut them? Because I would have cut them. Like would have
Um,
fought or would have cussed out or something.
I was still kind of blinking at the fact that like I experienced what I experienced because at this point I hadn't been Auntie Fiji yet, and I kind of forgot about my gift,
Mhm.
which I saw some of the questions like I didn't go through them because I wanted it to be like a just a raw, authentic take on me. And at that point, I kind of forgot who I was as a psychic and a medium. So when I felt all of those things, I'm like, maybe I'm just losing it. I had like a drink or two at the time. So I'm like, I'm
Mhm.
just losing it. Like I'm tripping. But then like other experiences and things started happening. And I'm like, shit's clicking. So when I became Auntie Fiji, it was like the dots were connecting.
Mhm.
So yeah, I was still shocked at what had happened.
See, that is like, oh, what happened? But I agree. Like I would have came up fighting. Like, don't throw me no water.
I mean,
I
I ain't
refuse.
scared of like no little water or anything. I mean, I'm Auntie Fiji, wet water feed you up to good, good. Yes, I fuck good. So I mean, I ain't scared of no little water or nothing. It was the
I know.
bitches in the water. So that's what we had to watch out for.
The ones in the water gotta watch out for you, right?
No, they can have the water. I'm not supposed to live in the water. They can have it. Boy, I'm on land. Mm-mm. No
Oh,
shade.
I know, right? So next, The Queen, Britney Spears, is making some rumble in the media again. Yep.
Can you pause your statement? Because you said the queen, and I thought you was going to say Nikki, but then I heard Britney. So
Yes, Britney.
Britney Spears,
Yes,
toxic. I'm
yes.
a slave for you. You can play now. Go on.
Okay.
We're here. We're
All
here.
right. All right. So she's making rumble in the media again because in case y'all didn't know, she liked to make dances in her house now, and even dancing with knives. So she disconnected her social media because she was bombarded with people saying that they was worried about her because she had knives and dancing and so forth and trying to do all the extra stuff. So she said she finna disconnect from that shit. So she came back 24 hours later, said, "Okay, you guys, I forgive you." Good girl, she did. I just read the comment. So she came through. She came back 24 hours later and said, "Hey, I forgive everyone. I'm okay. By the way, my new book's coming out. It's called The Woman in Me on October 24th. So she has a new memoir coming out as well. She's telling about everything, all of the dirty secrets that she has. So I don't know. You think it's gonna be a juicy read, her book?
Britney Spears is the toxic. She is the waste. She's the toxic. I know she has a good memoir because look at her. When she first broke herself free, she was out there whining back and forth in that kitchen, throwing her neck back and forth, baby, looking like she needed to be in an adult diaper. That baby has a story to tell. That video, I feel like it was just like to bring and haul the attention in
Mm-hmm.
because like girl, you ain't got over the internet that fast. Granted, I mean, it's the fucking internet. What are they gonna do? People are gonna talk shit regardless. But I mean, I think it's gonna be good. The girls be, they need to get the tea, figure out why she the way she is. A lot of people in that industry, baby, sayonara to them.
Yeah, you know she's supposed to have a baby about Justin Timberlake, but he made her get an abortion. That's in the book too. Mhm.
I won't read it, but
You will
I hope it does what it needs to do for her.
okay. So would you listen to a review on it?
I mean, I don't care, so I wouldn't listen to a review on it.
Okay.
That don't have nothing to do with me.
Okay, I feel that. So another thing in today's news, in hip hop news, is NLE Chopper. You know who that is?
Whatever.
That's my
Mm.
cousin. So my cousin was in the news because my auntie Angela Potts um, didn't hear from him, so she reported him missing. So, however, Auntie Potts later walked back in her statement saying, "I never intend to scare anyone with my past, nor did I expect for people to think he is missing." In a follow-up post. And then my cousin said he is not missing. He's not missing. I appreciate y'all showing concern, but the missing narrative isn't cool, especially knowing that people really do go missing every day. I took a little time to myself to get back to my roots, but trust I'm all good. Apologies to anyone that was worried. We don't run from battles, we take them chin up. I'm back 2019 chop. So, how you feel about NLE Chopper? You feel like because he been buzzing consistently all year. Um, like so,
In what regards?
like, do you feel like he's giving what he's supposed to be giving, like as an artist? Um, like,
I feel like NLE, because he's been in this like this waxing and waning energy for a few years now, as far as like his artistry and being in the industry.
mhm,
And I feel like he wants that freedom for him to
freedom.
continue to further develop and grow as an artist.
Mhm,
And he's being robbed and stripped of that because his role in the industry. and what he and his music and the things that he has done in the past. So I think
Mm.
that he just wants to break free, but right now it's just he fishing. He fishing. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. He's fishing. But that's all I can say because that's my man and stuff. So, I can't put too much of his business out there. And yeah.
Okay. So you think my cousin's a good artist? You like him as far as that? I mean, you think he
Uh,
cool, whatever.
you know, um, I do because when he said "lick on my gooch if you love me," I knew he was talking about me because I had did it the night before. So, oh my, he was talking about me. So yeah,
Ah.
yeah.
See, so y'all heard it right here on Hot Ass Mess. Auntie Fiji and Wet Water Fiji at NLE
What with the
Chopper.
good, good? Yes,
Yeah,
I thought good. Help you hear it in the song.
yeah,
Next
yeah.
question.
So he was talking about you. So okay, so we got that established. NLE, my cousin was talking about uh Wet Water Fiji in his song, and that's his little boo thing on the side.
Yeah, because I don't like too much people in my business. I'm a Capricorn.
Mm,
Mm-mm.
I feel you. So the
But
last thing I know, the last thing we have is on the hot ass mess week news of the week is the U.S. ranks 77th on the annual inclusiveness index by the Othering and Belonging Institution of the University of California, Berkeley, measuring inclusivity for marginalized groups globally. While the U.S. performs well in the LGBTQ acceptance and religion, it struggles with race, gender, and disability. High incarcerations of minorities and gender imbalances in elected offices contribute to its low ranking. Income inequality, violent attacks, and immigration reception is also impact inclusiveness. Since 2016, the U.S. standings on race, gender, and disability has declined. Hawaii, Maryland, and Vermont are the most inclusive states, while Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama lag behind. And y'all know Iran is the lowest globally all around. But are you surprised at the U.S. declining in their ranks in inclusivity?
I'm not surprised at all. This world is full of bitter, miserable people. And in the US, especially due to the history of this country,
Hmm.
in the founding of this country, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised we're not lower. I mean, hell, top 100, you should pat yourselves on the back. I'm surprised we're not lower. That number doesn't surprise me in the decline of the inclusivity that we
Yeah,
have. I mean, look at where we're at now.
we was at 72. Now we're at 77. We was at 72 last year. Now we're at 77.
I see why. I see why. Like, this is literally America. This, especially when you are a minority in the country. And the gag is you're not even really the minority. But the way how the system is set up, it makes you believe that you are the minority, so that way you can be stripped of your power. So I'm not surprised because it's so much division that happens across the world due to cultures and other things that don't really matter. But in this country alone, there's so much division that goes on in all these different communities and everybody's trying to ostracize each other. I'm not surprised. I like I said, we would be lower if you ask me. But hey.
Yes. Like Mari, she said, well, prepare to be 100. So she said, they said we're gonna be number 100 after a while. We're at 77, we're gonna be at 100 after a while. Um, so all right, next we're gonna go right into it. In case y'all didn't know, Auntie Fiji, which he is hailing from Florida, served as a medium and intuitive healer dedicated to catalyzing transformation and personal development in the lives of numerous, like everybody. You, me, your mama, your auntie, your cousin, they best friend, Sister Patterson at church, Mother
Mhm.
Jenkins, all them. Um, and she fearlessly addresses challenges, recognizing the discomfort paves the path to enlightenment, illuminating the way forward. Auntie Fiji, how you doing? Thank you so
Hi,
much.
I'm here. Hi, thank you so much for having me. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for coming. So we have a couple of questions for you because we know you're an expert in your field. You've been doing that thing. So one question that is not on here, but I want to know before we start is where did you get Auntie Fiji from or Wetwater Fiji? Where did that come from?
So those are two different things because those are two different personalities. So those are two
Oh,
different
okay.
answers.
Okay.
So wet water Fiji. Okay. I've never been like the biggest fan of like social media or anything. Like
Mhm.
literally, no matter all throughout high school, all of my friends would tell me like, okay, like, you know, my name is Isaiah. Like Isaiah, you need to like get on social media. Like you're funny. You're always the life of the party. You should do this. And I'm like, girl, y'all don't talk about anything on the internet. So I literally just had Instagram and I just followed my friends that I went to high school with. That was it.
Ooh.
In 2019, I was involved in a hit and run accident with the 18 wheeler. He ran over
Ooh.
the back of my car and he just drove off. And so I became like very depressed and everything and stuff like that. And so I just randomly was like on Twitter because I was trying to. Kaylani had something going on around this time, and that's my bestie. That's my girl. And so I'm looking for like what's next for Kaylani, and I see this video pop up, and it's of this ancient old dinosaur app. It's a prehistoric app called Bigo. Okay, Bigo, and I
Oh yeah.
downloaded it, and when I first got on there, it was my Instagram tag, which was SAIIZAII. A lot of people pronounce it Sai Za because my people also call me Sai, but it was Say Zay. It was too many Zays going around, running around on the internet trying to troll me because everybody was calling me Zay.
Mhm.
So I said, what is a name that's going to draw the attention and command a room?
Yes.
And I just literally just heard like it's wet. And I'm like, you know what? I am wet water Fiji. Wet with the good,
Okay.
good guess. I felt good. So if technically,
Yes.
if you ask
Period.
me, the niggas gave me my name. Wet
Okay.
water Fiji. The
Period.
niggas gave me the name.
Okay.
But Auntie Fiji, that name actually came from my best friend's support group because when I first started um socializing and networking off of with people on the internet, off the internet, they started calling me Uncle Wet because I was more so in my like masculine energy. I hadn't really tapped into like my feminine energy yet, like really trying to gauge to see how gay I can be. And so like once I started dibbling and dabbling into the different feminine energies of myself, and I became more in my femme cunt. But I mean, hello, we see. I'm here. Look at the Aaliyah waistline. They started calling me
Somebody
Auntie
said,
Fiji.
somebody said Florida waters, baby.
That's
That's
my
that
baby Reem. She's a Florida girl. She knows, she knows, she knows. And
so
so, yeah,
so no Florida folks, they say they waters run deep. That's what they saying.
we're a
Pe-
peninsula.
Yes. So Auntie Fiji came from your friend, right? Support
My
group.
friend's support group, yeah, because
Okay,
I was
okay.
becoming more feminine. They started calling me Auntie Fiji. And so when I started doing readings, I started out, well, people already called me Auntie Fiji. So when I first started doing readings and I was promoting myself on social media, it was Auntie Fiji, seer from beyond the Ouija. That was like my first ever tagline as far as like readings go.
Okay, okay. They is going ham in the comments. So one comments said, "Don't drown,
Y'all are
girl."
so.
So they is going in.
Spice every
Yeah.
argument
So
tonight.
going right into the questions. Um, so can you
Ah,
share a little bit about your journey in overcoming trauma and how it has shaped your resilience?
who my journey in what aspect? Because I
So
could be here all night. I've
well,
had a long journey.
yes, shorten it up for us, sugar.
As far as
Where you at now?
my where I'm at now.
Yeah, how you
So
get
where I'm at now and how I got to where I'm at now. Um, Last year, and I don't know what's up with me in cars, but last year I got into a car accident with my best friend. This box truck had hit us, and
oh,
so um,
I would not be riding with you, baby.
I I don't know what it is, but you know, um, over time I had became like depressed again because like I got hit directly like by the truck. And so it
Ooh,
caused a lot of physical problems for within myself to where I wasn't as confident because like it became like not difficult to walk, but like it hurt to walk. It hurt to stand,
ooh,
it hurt to lay down. So over time I became depressed. And so the beginning of this year, me and my twin, we had a baby. Okay. Now, when we had our baby, that was a lot for me because my twin were connected.
mhm,
Now, as I felt everything she felt, from the labor pains to the pushing and everything, and I literally just was like bawling, crying, just couldn't move, couldn't do anything. And from that moment there, it really started like a lot of change because, you know, birth changes a woman.
mhm,
And because me and my twin had that connection, it also changed a deep part of me because shortly after that, my best friend of 10 plus years had just blocked me. It was something else that had happened, and it was so much moving pieces in my life that were going on at that time. And it
mhm,
really caused me to just sit down and just look at myself and just tell me, like, I'm not happy. Like, I'm not liking any of this. My body was starting to relapse again, and I was going through pains again, and I wasn't really I had people that I could like rely on, but I kept a lot from everyone around me from what was really going on, how I was feeling internally. And so that kind of like was the catalyst, which was the baby, my best friend blocking me, and all the other things that were moving around. It really caused me to sit and be like, I'm not happy with any of this that's going on. What is the issue? Okay,
mhm.
well, I'm the issue. I'm the issue because this is my experience. And because I'm
Yeah,
experiencing this, what can I do differently about everything? And once I started asking myself those questions, that's what built my resilience in my growth of the trauma that had happened over this year.
okay. Wow, that's an interesting, very, very deep, interesting story. And man, I gotta be fighting back. I'm not gonna be crying on camera. And I know someone who's watching now, she's probably back crying right now. I get a text about it later because it is very touching. So what were some of the key strategies or resources that helped you on your path to healing?
Strategies that I used
We
was
getting
really
deep
trauma
too.
mapping. Um, Trauma mapping for me, it was really after accepting the fact that I didn't like certain things. So when new situations, which aren't really new, just situations that I'm now conscious of and acknowledging, because that's the thing. When you want healing and you're conscious, you can't really avoid it. Okay, so when things would happen or people would treat me certain ways or certain situations would cause friction or tension in my life, I started asking myself like, well, why does this trait affect me? So, i.e., for instance, let's see here. I was talking to a person the beginning of this year,
Hmm.
and I just was like, I'm not living for you anymore. Like I said that within myself, and so I'm like, what is it that makes me attracted to you? What makes me want you to, he's still here or whatever, just stuff like that. And I really had to figure out X, Y, and Z. Like, okay, so he has this archetype of a person who he's very loving, very caring, very passionate, but he lacks the emotional maturity to communicate his emotions properly.
Mm-hmm.
So, who is this in my life? And so, why is this like this? And why is it that I show up in his life this way? So, I really started trauma mapping, and that was one of my biggest key strategies in healing
Oh,
because trauma mapping helps you find the root. And
okay.
once you find the root and you can pull up those roots, you can move the whole plant and you can grow in a whole new
Mm,
environment.
okay. Okay. So, I like how long you been doing trauma mapping? Um, and how has it helped you?
I've been doing trauma mapping since 2020 when I first became Auntie Fiji and started doing readings.
Okay.
However, this year has been the most growth that I have witnessed, seen, and experienced within myself. And I was just thinking about this because these past 2 months, I have had just such a peace in my spirit, in my body, and in my being that I've actually, it's scary like how much peace I've really been having within myself. Like it's actually scary. And it's just like, ugh. So this year has been the best growth wise as far as trauma mapping, but since 2020.
Okay. All right. So, how do you maintain and prioritize your mental health on a daily basis? I'm sorry.
Solitude.
Solitude.
And I prefer to use the word solitude versus isolation because isolating means that, yes, there is something wrong, but in isolation, you're singling out something, you're soloing
Mm-hmm.
out something. And that is even in like a term or use in like a survival mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're in solitude, that's your peace. When you're isolating yourself from the world, that's not going to get you any growth. But when you find solitude within yourself so you can properly hear your own voice, that is how you balance your mental health because then you'll be able to finally hear that inner voice that you have within inside of yourself so that way you can be able to guide and listen to spirit, God, Allah, whatever you believe in. That's up to your
Yeah.
own detriment, baby. That ain't got nothing to do with me for whoever's out there listening. But
Mm-hmm.
once you put yourself into a space, and I would sit in silence as much as I hate, like, either if it's too quiet I can't do it, if it's too noisy I can't do it. Like, as much as I like to hear noise, I always have music playing. I dedicate at least an hour to just silence, or even if I have to have music just because like I want that like comfort, because when you're listening to music you don't feel like you're alone because of the energy in the music. Get yourself a good playlist and you
Yeah.
just sit and think. I sit outside and I stare at the stars at least 30 minutes to an hour. And it
Mm-hmm.
can go anywhere from that 30 minutes to an hour all the way up to 3 hours. I kid you not, every night I'm just staring up at the stars, just listening, asking questions, and really diving deep into who I am and where I want to be. And that's how I balance my mental health.
Okay, that's interesting. Someone stated that they also hate silence, but they do find comfort in solitude.
Mm-hmm.
So I am a testament to that as well. I do not like silence, but I love solitude. I love the peace. I love to actually gather my thoughts, whether I'm meditating or listening to some orchestra music or whatever. Um, it just helps me soothe my mind. So, in what ways has your experience as a member of the LGBTQ community influenced your mental health journey?
Girl, I don't,
I
as
know.
being a member in the community, they haven't influenced anything. If anything, they influenced me to clear my phone and have an empty photo gallery, create a new iPad, and create my 13 reasons why. The community, especially because I'm young, and when you are younger and you're still trying to find yourself in identification, though of the world, you got to be, in the world, not of the world.
Mhm.
Like, they really will try to bring you down. And so when I first moved here, that's when I kind of experienced like the community per se a little bit more throughout school, but I wasn't really of them or in them either way. But once I got on the internet and I started trying to socialize and, break out, it was just a bunch of bitter people. Like, that is
Mm.
literally the mask. Like, and the community is just, it's so much internalized homophobia and like self-hate that
Mhm.
is in the world. But since we're speaking of the community, because so many of us are hurting and are traumatized and have that hurt and that pain because we've been ostracized not only by the world but by our family because of who we choose to love. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Mhm.
it's so much that goes into it. So I don't really um I'll hold a candle to the community, but
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't really done much for me. It was really more so me because when you get too far deep into that, it becomes a distraction. Because
Mhm.
now everybody's trying so hard not to be that sissy. Everybody wants to. It's so much that goes on. So I really just I had to separate myself first, going back into how I balance my self care, and then once I figured out who I was, where I want to be, where I want to align myself, that's when those people, the right people, can come in alignment within myself. So
Yes. So speaking of the LGBT community, in your personal experience, how would you rate the dating scene there?
dating is what you make it.
Okay.
So if you're dating and you're not really supposed to be dating, you're supposed to be healing yourself, you're going to have the worst experience of your life because you're going to keep running into the same person in a different body, the same wolf in another sheep's clothing.
Mhm.
And so dating is literally what you make it. Now, how have I made it? I've been celibate for the past 423 days, and it
Oh,
has been a
baby.
long journey for me because, baby, I'm a freak. I'm a little nasty. Like, look, I'm a little nasty. But
Oh, baby.
um, I've been really focusing on myself over this past year. And when I was dating, I understood the experience that I'm dating these people because I'm testing the waters to see what my love language is. And once I started like looking at dating as that, like, you're supposed to have fun, you're supposed to experience, you're supposed to go do off all these other things and worry less about finding my partner, my perfect person. And that's what a lot of people try to do. So the dating scene for me, it's been decent, it's been a couple of stragglers, but I've enjoyed the dating scene because it's literally what you make it.
Yes. So why do you feel the dating scene is the way it is? Because some people say that the LGBTQ dating scene is terrible, like it's trash. All you find is horn dogs and people trying to just bust one. And that's all you find. So for those who feel the dating scene is that way, why do you feel like why do you feel that they view it that way?
Because that's how they are. If you're running into the same situation, it's you. You're the problem. And a lot of people don't want to accept that. It's you. You are the issue. That's literally what it is. And a lot of
Right.
the times, people spend so much time pointing the finger at somebody else, but you got three fingers pointing back at you, like they used to say in elementary.
Mhm.
And those things that, oh, I don't like you because you're bossy. I don't like you because you're manipulative. Baby, you'll get mad at your best friend because you said, I don't like Keisha. And she said, hey, to Keisha at Walmart. What does that have to do with your best friend? Baby, we're both mature grown adults. You're trying to manipulate the situation. You're subconscious manipulating because you see that in somebody else. That's what you see in yourself that you don't like. So, like I said, you got to make it with what you are.
Yes. So someone said that we literally have apps meant just for fucking, not to mention all of the testosterone. Yeah, it can, and then they said it can be a little much. So yeah, I feel that because like people try to find love or trying to find a relationship on the sex apps or on the fucking apps. Like
Hmm.
Wrong app for that, baby. But
But that's what we've made it though. As a community, that's what we collectively have made it because there's so many people that are in that spirit and that energy of the boo boo sex demon that everybody's talking about. And it's over sexualized. Of course, it's over
mhm,
sexualized. Why? Because a lot of people, um, everybody at some form in their life has taken abuse, whether if it is severe trauma or simple trauma. And so sometimes us, people of the community, we have those sexual traumas, but nobody of who's not of the community will not have those same experiences because we all experience similar things. It's just we're in two different communities. And so if you look at um the straight dating apps, the Bumble and all those other stuff, they're experiencing the same things that we're experiencing. So it's not very much different. It's the same pool of people, just in two different neighborhoods.
mhm. So somebody say boo boo demon.
Right. My
Oh,
girls are going to key. My girls are going to key. And so,
they is
yeah.
funny. Okay, so what do you feel is the biggest misconception when it comes to heterosexual men and homosexual men? Like one misconception I like, for example, one misconception I got is a heterosexual male and a homosexual male cannot be friends
Right.
without something going on.
Right. And I agree. That is one. I have a lot of genuinely um straight friends, and I mean I understand why because there's such a fetish fetishization of the heterosexual man or the trade that
Uh-huh.
we as a community and culture have enabled for generations to come because of the over sexualization of men, of women, but since we're talking about men, the masculinity of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because that is romanticized and fetishized, that's the reason why that is a huge misconception because it's no fats, no femmes, mask for mask, like,
Mm-hmm.
So, another big misconception is that they're different. They're not the same, but they're not that different. Like
No.
everybody experiences the same things. Like we all have the same feelings, same emotions. We all go through the same stuff. And the fact that we experience them in two different ways, they think that that makes us the opposite. Yet that really is what brings us close together because we have
Mm-hmm.
those same experiences. And a lot of people continue to try to push that narrative to drive that wedge between both groups or communities of men. So that's what I
Okay.
believe another misconception is.
Okay. So um so going back to you, how do you balance self-care and self-care of yourself and helping others overcome trauma and so forth? How do you balance that out?
Oh, especially being a healer myself, I had to learn the word no.
Mm, that's
The
powerful.
word no has been very good to me because I can't help anybody else if I can't help myself. And a lot of the times, especially with me
Mhm.
being a Capricorn, I will burn myself out. I
Yeah.
will work, 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 work. And that's what a lot of the times we do to ourselves. We will work, 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 work. And sometimes um, I allowed the how other people viewed me manage how much I help because I've become Auntie Fiji to so many people. And so it's like, well, Auntie Fiji already has it, always has an answer. Auntie Fiji always knows what to do. And
Mhm.
sometimes it became too much because it became an obligation. And the moment that I realized that it was just like, I'm not obligated to nobody but my damn self.
That's right.
And
That's right.
so I had to really utilize and stand on boundaries and the
Mhm.
word no. Because if I'm not mentally equipped here and in here for me to try to help you, how can I be of value to you?
Yes.
And so,
So, how do you like? So, what advice would you give someone that is struggling with their own identity? or struggling to find themselves, what advice would you give them?
My favorite season is autumn.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was younger, it was summer. Because when you're a kid, summertime, school is out. Everybody loves summer.
Oh
But
yeah.
I really grew to love autumn. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people don't care for autumn because they think autumn is so ugly just because the seasons.
It's beautiful.
And there's beauty in death, and a lot of people demonize darkness. They demonize death. They demonize the mystery. And I had to really understand, and this is for, I know this is a story, but just listen to me. Listen. There is beauty in mastering in being by yourself. Do not be
Mm.
afraid to be alone. So that way you can listen to
Yes.
your own self identity. And so many times people they want to be these beautiful cherry blossom trees, right? And
Mm-hmm.
they get upset when autumn comes and all their petals are falling off. But you're entering a new season. So why are you upset? And today I learned that a tree is its strongest in autumn. And that makes so much sense because in
It
autumn
does.
they don't have to they don't have to produce everything. And so sometimes you have to give your body a rest. You have
Yeah.
to put yourself at the center. Everybody wants to be the beautiful flower with the flower petals, but nobody wants to be the bud, which is the foundation. How can the flowers can't go nowhere without that bud? So you put yourself at your center, and each time you grow, that another petal forms. Each
Mm-hmm.
time you grow, another petal forms. And when your season is over, don't cry because the flowers are all dead because spring is going to be right around the corner.
Yes.
So that is how I would tell somebody to help them with self identity. Put yourself at the forefront,
Mm-hmm.
and then everything else will align itself. Everything else will grow around you. Put yourself at the forefront, but never forget your roots. And
Yes.
that's the thing, because everybody wants to be the bud, but nobody wants to be the roots. Nobody wants to be grounded. Nobody wants to have foundation, but everybody wants security. But you
Mhm.
always forget your roots. That don't make
Period.
no sense to me, but
Mm-hmm. I feel that. So, another question for you: how do you handle challenges or discrimination related to your identity while staying authentic to who you are? Like, especially being a member of the LGBT community, like someone fearing a straight or a heterosexual male in fear that you may want them or so forth. How do you handle stuff like that?
um at first I handled it very abrasively, and I was very feisty, fiery. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on about my respect. But
Hmm.
what business is it? That's just like when you ask all of us in high school, which one of you when you grew up, an entrepreneur? In what? That just means that you are the person we go to when the shit hits the fan. But in what? What business are you standing on? And so when it came to those situations, I found myself back in that state of mind of who I was in a child, that fight or flight mode, and that spirit of not wanting to be seen but wanting to be felt, you know. And
Hmm.
so slowly after I realized that it wasn't about standing on business and it wasn't about standing on my respect, it was more so inward. I started to respond differently. So now how I respond, I mean, I really don't come in contact with that anymore because that's not my fear. So I can only tell you how I would respond now if it was to happen to me.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I mean, what did Jesus do? Turn the other cheek, and
Hmm.
because
And knock the fuck
like
out of
there
them.
isn't
I
anything
mean,
that you're going to gain from it.
hmm,
Like you yell, you cuss, you fight. What is that going to get you? If the police is coming, you're going to get locked up. You're going to jail. Like at the end of the day, I just
yeah,
realize
catch
and I
me.
understand that there's broken and bitter people, and there's nothing that I can do about that. As
Yeah.
long as I'm not in danger and I'm not fearing for my life, we good. I ain't got to
Yeah.
say nothing to you. Baby swipes card, grabs bag, goes out.
Hmm. Yeah. So you better than me because let somebody step me the wrong way. I ain't there yet. I still got a ways to go. Because you step to me sideways, I'm going to step to you sideways. I'm very respectful. Very
Right.
respectful. I will respect you to the T. But as soon as you make me get out of character, you be ready, baby. Because I'm coming. But
But that means
anyway,
that the other person has power over you. And that's also, like I said, the two different responses. Because I realize them
mhm,
saying that one thing to me, I know that that's what you're going to say, because that's what has been palatable to society for everybody to say and ostracize the people of the community. Black people back in the 60s. And, I grew up listening to my granddad tell me stories all the time about him working for the white man, them Cracker Jacks, and I'm calling him niggas. But that means that that person has power, because nobody can make you get out of character
yes.
unless they have power over you. You can't control how you react to something, because a reaction is something that has been forced by whatever is causing it, and the effect is your reaction. So I always tell my girls, we don't react to things, we respond, because you can always control your response.
Yes. And my response, baby, is usually the right one and the left.
You
The right
can't fight
and the left.
every battle. Oh my God, Lord, she's going to be out here nothing. Wig on her shoulders. She's
Yes, yes. Because God has given me the strength to tread over scorpions. So and give me the strength to kick ass as well. So
but I thought that was figurative.
huh?
I thought it was figurative.
Uh-uh. No. Uh-uh. It's it's literal. Very.
Okay.
Okay. So, okay, last question. What are your hopes and goals for the future, both personally and as a member of the LGBTQ plus community regarding mental health, resilience, growth, and where do you see yourself? Well, no, that's a separate question. Okay.
My hopes and goals for the future, personally, is to continue to strive for this state of peace that I've been in this past season. Um, and to allow myself, and this, like I said, it's just a personal one, for me to allow myself to not get caught up in the mirage of
Mm,
what has been in society, because it's so easy to fall back into comfortability, and a lot of us fall victim on it.
mm-hmm.
And I'm going to share with y'all this really good quote by Lisa Nichols. I watched her interview like 5 times.
Oh,
And she said, your conviction cannot live on the same street as your comfort. They don't live on the same street. Your comfort and your conviction, they don't live on the same street. And
mm-hmm.
I really internalized that, because a lot of us want to be so comfortable, but our conviction is somewhere else. And I really felt that in my spirit. And so, what I want for not only myself to do, and it's not meant for everybody to heal, change, grow, and develop. Some people won't get in this lifetime. But if it is for you, I want y'all to take that and remember that, because you should always strive for your conviction when it's not on the same tree of your comfortability, and continue to walk in that uncomfortability, because that's how you grow. That's, you got to agitate that ground. You got to pull up those roots. That's how you grow. Plants don't grow in comfortability, baby. You got to keep
Yes,
growing, keep rising. And that's what I hope for the people that I love and care for, and people that love me and don't care for me. I want everybody to grow. I want everybody to heal. I want everybody to come be the best version of themselves. But I understand now that it's not for everybody. And I'm okay with it.
that's what's up. I feel that. So, what do you see? So, in like I say by 2025, what do you see, what is Auntie Fiji doing by 2025?
By 2025, well, well, I know for a fact that that will be done. By 2025, I will be finished with both of my books. Well, right now I'm working on a book now. It's called The Gift. Okay.
Okay, good.
And that book is a little bit about my life story and what it was like for me being a sensitive growing up, not really understanding through the traumas and the trials and tribulations that I've been. That's what you said, your journey and how you got here. Baby, listen, growing up, talking to seeing the spirits, predicting everybody's death, being taken away from your mom when you're 8 by your sperm donor, then dealing with almost a decade of emotional, physical, verbal, and mental abuse, that just was like a big pivotal moment for me in my life and why I was the way that I was up until about this year to where I'm a completely unrecognizable person. And
Okay.
so that's what that book is about, my earlier stages of my life and how my gift helped, hindered, and it did nothing for me. And so there's another book that I want to work on, but I'm not quite sure how I want to go about it. So I'm
Mhm.
still in questioning. But my
Okay.
books, um, and more into this now, um, speaking. I understand now that as a philosopher and a speaker, for me to share my voice and for me to help heal, change, and grow more people. So I want to further develop myself speaking wise and start
Mhm.
speaking more at events and other things of that nature. School is everything. So by 2025, I will be a speaker.
Yes. Okay, y'all be on the watch out for Auntie Fiji out here doing big things, making big moves. Thank you so much for coming out and sharing your story with us and just being so active and being so vibrant. Thank you so much. And you think you getting off the hook? We still got some more questions for you. So these questions you did not see at all. All right. So these questions is is random. I put it out there. I was like, hey, what y'all want me to ask um this special guest that we have coming in? And we got 5 questions for you. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, it's gonna get a little personal.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. S- Somebody said the wettest wet water Fiji is overall.
Thank you, Mari.
Okay. So describe your most embarrassing fashion or public moments.
Oh my God, my most embarrassing public moment.
Uh-huh.
I'll never forget it, baby. I was in 7th grade. Let me tell you this. So in Florida, we got this thing called the FCAT. In Georgia, they got y'all got the CRCT, some shit like that.
Uh-huh.
In Florida, we have the FCAT. So it's me. Um, I was in my math class. Coach Johnson, handsome, cool fella. We start. I got my muffin, my apple juice, my milk. I swallow it whole. I love juice. Okay, I'm like Tanisha. I love juice.
Yes.
So the FCAT test is starting, and I'm finished. You know, I've always been a smart kid. No, Reem, that's only just for Florida, boo. And you know, I finish about like 15, 20 minutes early, and I'm just sitting there looking and blinking. And I'm like, Coach, when we go to lunch? And he's all like, we go to lunch at 1:30. I said, okay, what time is it now? He said it's 1:17. I said, okay, I gotta go to the bathroom. He said it is a personal, it is a state standardized test. You can't go nowhere. I said, well, I gotta go to the bathroom. And he was like, okay, hold it. So I said, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I paid it. No mind. Okay, I sat crisscross applesauce, crossed my fingers, crossed my toes, crossed my hole, crossed my urethra. Baby, I crossed everything. And literally, like the last like 60 seconds, I kid you not, he said, you can go now. I looked up at him and I shook my head. No, I peed on myself. He said, you can go. It's the last 60. And that's all I could do. And I just waddled. I waddled to the front desk. I did the waddle. I waddled. Larry.
Wait, that wet wet was wet wet before she was wet wet. Ah.
Yeah, that's my most embarrassing public story.
Okay. All right. So next question. You ready for it? Who is your celebrity crush? Go.
Oh, Kaylani Ashley Parrish. I love everything about that woman.
Okay.
Like she's phenomenal. Come, it's Kaylani.
Okay. All right. So you could put somebody else out. The worst song you have heard this year. Go.
Oh my God. See, I listen to good music. The worst song I've ever heard this year.
It could be on accident.
I'm a Capricorn. I listen to the same music. Like, I haven't really heard one. Like, because I
Okay.
listen to the same music. Like,
Okay. So what's the best song you have heard in the last 2 months?
best song I've ever heard in the last 2 months. And this ain't just because this is my friend. This is my girl. And she's my girl because she makes really good music. Her name is
Okay.
Peyton Moore. And she has this single that came out last month. It's called Fuck Daisies.
Fuck
I've
who?
had this Fuck Daisies. It's by Peyton.
Who?
Okay,
Peyton
you can
Moore.
find her
Okay.
on Instagram, Peyton Moore Music. Fuck Daisies, baby. Must I confess? What? Like, stop playing with me. My girl ate, and I literally listened to that song the first week that she released it, like nonstop, start to finish, from dawn to dusk. And so, fuck Daisies.
Okay. Somebody said the Cha Cha Side by Glorilla sounds a mess. I haven't heard it, so I can't.
Me and my niece was just talking about that, and I haven't heard it. See, I only listen to good music. I did not even know that that came out this year. I thought it was old when my niece told me about it. So
No,
yeah, I
well,
don't.
she redid the Cha Cha Slide. That's what she was doing.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know
she should have
that.
left that alone. She, whoever convinced her to do that, they, they should have, yeah, they should have thought again. Someone else said, spice it ain't that spice. It ain't that bad. Okay,
I mean, I guess I'll listen. My niece said it ain't that bad. I'll listen. So,
okay, all right. So next question. Tell us about the worst date or first encounter you've been on.
um, the worst date that I had ever been on, it was in 2019, and that was when I was SA'd at the end of the date.
You was what?
SA'd,
What's essay?
sexually assaulted.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay. At the end of the table? While you was at
No,
the what?
no, like at the end of the date.
Oh, oh, okay. That's block hidden eye. Fucked up. But oh dang, that's fucked up. I yours is still better than mine's, but yeah. My worst day this year. Yours is still better than mine's. But we ain't talking about me, we talking about you. So last last question. What is the best podcast? You better say the right thing, or you will not be invited back. What is the best podcast out right now?
Ooh, let me think about it. Let me let me think about it, because now I gotta think. Because
I'm
why is she
dead.
playing with me?
I'm done with you.
The funny thing is, like, I don't really like listen to podcasts, but I've been listening and watching you. And
Okay, okay,
I'm Ham's life. That's why I'm here. Hello,
okay, that part.
what's up? So
Yes.
yes,
So for people who don't know, how can they reach you? Like how can they follow you for your social media handles? How can they keep up with you? People want to keep up with Auntie Fiji, Wetwater Fiji. Tell them how they can follow you.
you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok and Twitch, because I be streaming on Twitch too, but it's like games and stuff. But it's always a key. You can find me on those platforms at Water Fiji, but without the A. Okay, so that's WTERFIJI. And again, that's Water Fiji without the A. WTERFIJI. And you can also find me on YouTube, where I have my story times, my TTs, my conspiracy theories, um, so much more content that I do give on YouTube. And I actually have a video out. Well, not out now. I have to edit it, but I have another video that I have to post. You can find me on YouTube at Wet Water Fiji. Again, Find me on YouTube at Wet Water Fiji. And you
So,
can DM me for any spiritual guidance advice as a spiritual advisor, readings and all. I do it.
okay. So you got a personal assistant named Susan?
Yes.
Okay. Shout out to your personal assistant coming in
Yes.
and
Thank
say,
you.
okay,
Yes. We love Susan. Yes.
yes, Susan.
H2O. We love you. We love you.
Okay, and Kathy. So, today's podcast was sponsored by Divine Elevation Spiritual Life Coaching, Crochet by Cat, KGL Design Studios, and the best podcast in the land, Ham Life Podcast Show, and Wet Water Fiji. Okay, all right. So, uh, and also, if you want to book Wet Water Fiji, you can reach uh her niece Jazz um at this what was it? What's it? Jay's
Jay's
Playhouse.
Playhouse.
Yes. Yeah, reach out and book Wetwater Fiji to speak to you and your peoples. Okay, all right. But thank you so much for showing up and showing out for me. And tell your people we thank them for showing in. And tune in next week at for when we have Nurse Nikki Cunningham tuning in, telling us some do's and don'ts health wise and sexually for you nasty folks. Okay.
Yes, some of y'all need that. I ain't gonna
Yes.
say no names, but some of the girls need it.
Yes. So she gonna help some of y'all out with y'all hygiene issues and y'all hygiene questions. So tune in next week, y'all. For everyone else, love you. Peace and blessings to you all. Thank you, Wetwater Fiji. I mean Auntie Fiji, for showing up. And we love y'all. Peace and blessings. Bye.